What up, team? So here we are at secret location. Charlene and Della in the background. So hello, say hi, Charlene.
Hiya.
And Della. Della's clearly a little bit shy, but hey, welcome back, guys. This one might send you for the windows like Charlene did. It got a little bit hot under the colour. So here we are again, Bold Goals. Here with myself, yours truly, Scott Rumbold. So another Pilates session. This one a little bit longer than the last one, 27 minutes in duration. So it's a sweet follow along. Just all you need is a mat, no other equipment needed. So there's some other moves. We're gonna progress some of the stuff we did. We did some kick sits in the last one. So hopefully you progress with that, because we're gonna take that a little bit further. So if you're ready, stretch out the mat. Standing at the back of your mats, feet hip width apart, toes pointed, facing forward. Let's check the pelvis. One hand on the back, one hand on the tummy. Just roll the pelvis forward and back. It's a nice movement there from Charlene. Movement through the pelvis. It's just to find that place in between the two extremes where we find our neutral, and then we're going to pull the belly button in slightly. We're going to lift that pelvic floor muscle just to hold the pelvis in place. Let's test that out now. With a little raise up through the toes. Now if you wobble a little to start with, don't worry, your body will, you'll kind of get in tune with the body. But if you find yourself quite wobbly, then belly buttons pull in, lift the back a bit more. So again, like with the last video, let's go with a twisting of the upper body. We're going to rotate, but again, the knack being, keep your pelvis pointing forward, so we're isolating the movements. Let's rest it there and roll down through the center. It's going to roll through the spine, and again on the way back up, pull the belly button in, lift pelvic floor muscle, and roll it back up. Roll through the vertebrae. Don't rush. Head's the last thing to come back up. Yeah, making sure that pelvis comes back to neutral. We're going to float the arms up, keeping the shoulders away from your ears as we then float up to the toes. And take the arms a little further. But don't take the arms further if it changes the shape of your body. Keep your pelvis, your body, your torso in neutral. Again, take the hands into prayer position. Again, rotate the upper body, pelvis staying, facing forward. Imagine you've got torches on your pelvis, and the torches point forward, but they don't turn around now to face the camera. They stay pointing forward. Isolating the movement from the top of the body, bottom of the body. Using your core body, core muscles here, pull your belly button in, lift pelvic floor muscle, stabilize the pelvis. But still we've got that movement, that fluid movement of the upper body. So we're going to go for a side bend. Bend off to one side. Now make sure you've got equal weight through the feet. Breathe in, come back up tall, and do the same opposite side. Again, the weight equal, the pelvis equal. In breath coming back up. So again, first side. This time we're going to hold here. Now as you breathe out, we're going to go just a bit further. Again, belly button pulling in, lift pelvic floor muscle. Hold yourself steady. And then again to that second side. And again, hold, breathe in. And on the out breath, you'll find your travel a little further. Again, ease away back up, roll back up. Again, rolling forward, chin to chest. Roll through the vertebrae, one at a time. All the way down. Now you can put a slight bend in your knees here if you need to, and then roll back up. Or you can keep straight legs. But really focus in on that movement, that fluid movement through the spine. Float the arms up again. And this time we're going to float your one arm in and one arm forward. Again, we've got that rotation of the upper body. Again, the pelvis stays in place. Opposite side. One elbow comes down towards a rib. Like your arms are on train tracks. Watch so they don't deviate off those train tracks. So we've got movement of the upper body, we've got stability of the lower body, core muscles working. We've also got that coordination. And if you find you struggle with coordination, the more you challenge yourself, the better you get at it. Again, we're going to roll down. Lower chin to chest, roll down, roll through the spine. And as you breathe out, hollow, engage, roll back up. So we're going to float up through the toes to start. We're going to float the arms up and then float back down. Now let's raise up one leg. Let's float up through the foot. Keep the foot on the ground if you need to. Keep your toe on the ground if you need to. But if not, bring your leg up. Knee is about level with hip level, but no higher. Again, if you're wobbling, then pull your belly button in, lift pelvic floor, stabilize from within, and stay with that if you need to. But if not, we're going to float the leg up. We're also going to join it with the arms. The arms are going to float up. If this is too much for you, then just go back to just the legs. But if not, we can add in that rotation. Stay stable, make sure the pelvis stays level, the belly button's pulling in, you're lifting pelvic floor muscle, and then you ease that leg back down, ease the body down. We're going to switch, second side. Again, float the leg up. Again, float the arms up. Again, legs stay placed, pelvis in place, movement through the upper body, coordination of the upper body, and again, floating back down. Again, lower your chin to chest, let's roll through the spine, belly button still pulling in slightly, lifting pelvic floor muscle. Again, a little bend of the knees if you like, but we're going to walk out, tabletop position, come onto hands and knees. So hands underneath shoulders. So, this is what I call happy cat. We're going to float one arm up, elbow to rib. Now if you've ever had a cat on your lap, you've had that cat doing that thing on your legs, this is why I call this happy cat. Anyhow, elbow no higher than the rib, shoulders staying level without movement, pelvis, neck, head, the body, keeping a neutral. And this time we're going into swimming prep. We're going to float the arm up, thumb points up, shoulders, stay away from the ears. Now opposite leg's going to slide back, leg stays in contact with the ground or foot in contact with the ground. And then gently just off the ground, don't lift it too high. And then we're going to return the knee back in, return the hand back in, keeping your neutral. Do the same on the opposite side. First the hand, the thumb points up, slide the leg back, foot stays in contact to start with, and then raise the leg just off the ground. And again, return that knee back in to where it came from, and same with the hand. Now just a little rest of happy cat. I'll call this active rest. So we're staying in that neutral tabletop position. We just add a bit of movement, take some weight off the hands, off the wrists. Remember, belly button's pulling in, lifting off pelvic floor muscle. So let's go with one leg sliding back, but we're going to go as wide as the mat. Don't look back, you know where your mat is, you know where your foot is. We're going to slide the other leg back, we've got now wide legs. Now we did happy cat just now. Let's think about happy cat whilst we're here. So, one hand might raise off the ground, it might not. You might do a couple until you get too tired. Now, little caution here, if you do have high blood pressure, don't do too much of this. Maybe do a couple and then rest. Good. Now don't feel that you need to get that hand off the ground. Even just transferring a little bit more weight, trying to take a little weight off that hand, but do not allow your body to twist. Keep your neutral. Now, Della's going to show us here. Hand is just about coming off the ground. Maybe kind of, staying in contact with the ground, but you're still getting that same action, but it's not quite as strong. Let's ease back into shell stretch. Or you might know it as child's pose from yoga. All the same, just different names. Just resting. And when you feel like you've rested enough, we're going to come on back up. Now we're going to come onto your knees, what I call high knees, and then we're going to take one leg out to the side. Good. Now make sure your thigh is straight up and down, the kneeling leg. Float the arms up. Now as you breathe out, let's float across to one side, across to the leg. Now try not to rest too much with your hand on your leg. With your in-breath, we're going to ease back up. And then, with your out-breath, out to the other side. Reach across first. Let's see if you can get your hand flat on the floor. Now you could use a block, a pillow to put your hand on here if you're struggling to get your hand to the floor. But again, on the out-breath, hollow, engage, ease your way back up. Let's do the same on the other side. So again, your kneeling leg, straight up and down. Reaching across to the thigh, the leg, the calf, the knee first. Feel that stretch, length. Now, it may not feel the same on this side as it did on the other. And then as you breathe out, we're going to come across to the other side and do the same again. See if we can flatten the hand on the floor. So this side may feel different than the other side. It may not be the same. We've got two sides of the body and sometimes there's some imbalance. But as we practice, we'll adjust. So again, back onto tabletop position or hands and knees, all 4-point kneeling. So again, tuck those toes under, we're going to cat knee lifting. We're going to raise the knees just off the ground, barely raising off the ground. And again, rest down, back into shell stretch. And we're going to take that a little bit further shortly, so make sure you get yourself a good rest. And then we're going to ease back up. Again, tabletop position. Tuck those knees under, tuck those toes under, and raise the knees just off the ground. Good. And now we're going to kick sit. We're going to bring the body round. Notice the bottom landing real close to the hand. The hand didn't move. And then the hand stays in place as we shift. Keep the bottom low, keep the knees low. And then we do the same the other way around. Again, your bottom landing close to your hand. Stabilize your shoulder. The hand that you're pressing into the ground, keep that shoulder stable, away from your ear. You're deliberately pulling your shoulder away from your ear to stabilize that shoulder. Core muscles are working to keep your body, your torso, firm. Good. Now we're going to progress this. We're going to add a bit of flow. Now you can stay with exactly what we were doing just then, or we can add a bit of flow to this. So, again, tabletop position, toes tucked under, knees raised up. Now, we can rest, or we can add a flow. We kind of come on through, we hover, but stabilize with the arms. You move at the pace that suits you. But make sure your bottom is not sticking up in the air, you'll attract too much attention. Keep that bottom down low. Keep your knees close to the ground. Good. And let's rest there. Again, nice place to rest, shall stretch. Now we're going to take that even further. So you might like to, we're going to take this through into crab. So if you've not done crab before, maybe just watch the first time through and then, or you can just, in fact, you can pause, you can rewind and come back to it. So, cat knee lifting, we're going to come on through like we did just now, but take the leg all the way through. Land the feet parallel. Raise the hips up. You can reach the arm over, look down at the arm, look down at the floor. And then lower the hips. And back to cat knee lifting. Keep the bum low. Good. Beautiful demonstration there from Charlene. Good. And again, so like I say, the important stuff for you guys to think about is your shoulder stability. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. So let's rest back. Again, shall stretch. Nice place to rest. So we're going to come on down, back up down onto your side. So just lay onto your side. Make sure, of course, you can see the camera, make sure you can see the TV or whatever screen you're looking at. We're going to float that leg up to parallel with the pelvis and into hip hitch. So leg stays parallel, we've got a movement through the pelvis, and notice a little gap appears underneath the body and then it closes back down again. So we're going to do 8 of these, pressing the leg out parallel and then back in. And when you've done 8, we're then going to add in a circle. So we're going to do 8 circles. Oh, in fact, sorry, no we're not. We're going to side kick series. So we're going to bring the leg forward and back, slowly, with control of the upper body. So pelvis staying in place. Careful not to allow your waist to sink to the ground. Keep that leg stretched out, like you did with hip hitch. Keep the pelvis stacked up and level. Keep your leg level. Watch that your leg is not lifting, not lowering. Good. And then we're going to add in that bottom leg. So I'm going to stretch both legs out. I'm going to bring one forward, one back. Again, keep the pelvis level. Try not to allow your body to roll back. Good. And then we can add a little bit of pace to this. But keep stretching. Your legs out lengthened. Keep stretching them out. Now you may find that one side is stronger than the other, as with the rest of the body. But let's see. But if you're ready, we're going to roll over. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So lengthen out through the body. Rest your head on your arm. And of course, if your head's not comfortable here, you want to put a little pillow underneath your head or a little rolled up towel, then do. But first of all, raise up that top leg. Hip hitch. Stretch the leg out parallel. Leg travels parallel. And thinking about that gap that appears underneath the body and then closes back down again. Also notice that the hand resting on the tummy, so the hand is not resting on the floor. If you rest the hand on the floor, you're not going to give your core muscles an opportunity to work. So again, it's that side kick series. Keep the legs stretched out, keep that little space underneath your waist as you take one leg forward and one leg back. When I say one leg, I'm talking of course about the top leg, forward and back. So then we're going to stretch out that top and bottom leg. Slight hover off the ground with the bottom leg as we ease the legs forward and back. Now careful not to allow your pelvis to roll back or forward. Keep it stacked up and level. And then we start to add a bit of pace. Good. And you may find like Charlene struggling on this side, and that's okay. It just shows that, you know, she's human, like the rest of us. Slightly not as strong on that side, but let's rest there. So let's tuck knees into chest. So we're going to roll like a ball. Now, little caution for this one, guys. As I say in class, if you're feeling a little windy, you might find it escapes, but I guess if you're at home by yourself, no matter. But if it happens in class, we tend to laugh. You can laugh yourself. But anyhow, the important stuff here, we're trying to create a ball-like shape through the back, a rounded up back. Try and hold that rounded back as we rock them forward and back. And then rest. Again, butterfly wings. So again, let's bring those knees into chest. Let's take the legs into a tabletop position. Now think of your shins being parallel to the floor. Your knees are hip width apart, so they're not propping each other up, they're not together. So a little pelvic tilt here. So as you breathe out, hollow, pull your belly button in, lift pelvic floor muscle, and then flatten your lower back, imprint your back into the ground, and then return your pelvis back to neutral. Now you'll see there's a little movement of the legs. That's not because we're moving the legs, it's because we're moving the pelvis. Your legs are attached to your pelvis, so yeah, they're going to move. But we're going to do, I call this level 1. Now level 2, we're going to do it with the legs not moving. Good. And let's rest there. Again into butterfly wings, or stretch your legs out, whichever you feel most appropriate. And then we're going to come back up to that. So bring the knees in, knees to chest. Find your tabletop position, a little gap between the knees and the ankles. Now let's see if we can do that without moving the legs. So we've still got that tilt of the tail, we've still got imprinting the spine. Now, if you're finding that you can't get the same amount of movement through your pelvis, you can't get the same amount of imprint, then allow your legs to move just enough to imprint the spine fully. because if you don't move fully, you're not going to get the activation of the muscles. So holding the leg still as much as you can. Now, we're going to add in level 3 here. So Charlene's going to take legs overhead. Now I call this level 3. Now, make sure your hands are facing the ceiling. Unlike Charlene's at the moment, I should tell her off about that later. So we can practice a few of those, but we can come on back to that, and you choose level 1s, level 2, level 3. So let's do that again. So finding your tabletop position. So you choose now, level 1, level 2, level 3, or you can do a mixture, depending on which level you're working at. There we go. So palms facing up. Head stays up. If you're doing level 3, make sure head stays on the ground. You're lowering back down and coming back to that tabletop position. Now, of course, you don't need to do level 3. You can find that place in between the two. And finally, here we are. Delo's demonstrating that kind of rocking action. But the important stuff here is your belly button's pulling in, lifting of pelvic floor muscle, stabilizing from within, activating those inner muscles. So let's make this one your last. So let's stretch out. Let's lengthen out, lengthen through the body, rest the body. So let's do a little preparation for teaser. As you breathe out, the body comes up. Lower back presses into the ground. In breath, flip the arms back down to the ground, flip the body back down. Let's do the same again. So let's add a lift of the right leg. Bend of the knee, raise the body up. And return the leg, return the upper body. Now let's focus in, do the same on the other side, other leg. Let's focus in on your core muscles. Let's think about imprinting the spine for now. Let's think about pulling the belly button in. So again, back to that first leg. So your out breath, it brings you up. So opposite leg again. Breathe in whilst you're up there. And as you breathe out, return. So this time, right leg comes up. We're going to hold the right leg up, and then we're going to bring up the second leg. Now, first leg's going to go on back down as you breathe out. Body stays up, and then rest the body. The leg stays up. The body's coming back up. So again, we're going to switch legs. Whilst the body's up, the legs change, and with your out breath, release the upper body. Out breath coming up with the body. In breath and out breath, switch legs. So again, focus on the core muscles, focus in on your imprinted spine. So this time let's change twice with the legs. Keep the body up. On the out breath, switch legs second time. And switch again. And then lower the upper body and rest legs. So we're going to come back into shoulder bridge, just to get some movement through the body and pelvis. Let's bend the knees, place the feet on the floor. And make sure that you're rolling through your pelvis, through the vertebrae. Really focus inwardly on what's going on through your back, through your pelvis. Making sure you come back down to neutral. So we're going to stretch out those legs again. And we're going to come on back into teaser. So we're going to raise one leg up straight. We're going to roll the body up. Now we've got options here. We can stay with what we were doing earlier on, where the body only comes up partially as we raise the leg up partially. Lower back pressing into the ground. Or we can roll the whole body up into a seated position as we raise the leg. Think of the leg staying straight. Think of rolling through the body. Think of how you imprint the spine on the way up. So every part of the spine touches at some point, and on the way down the same. We roll through every vertebrae of the spine. So you choose your level, whether you're coming all the way up, whether you're coming partially up. You'll still feel the same work. You'll still feel those muscles working. Good. Let's take knees to chest. Let's take a little rest. Give the knees a little bit of a hug. So a little bit of rocking side to side, forward and back. And then bring yourself into a seated position. So we're going to roll up. So Della's going to do this roll up. In fact, from the upward position, she's going to roll back. And Charlene's going to go through the whole motion of rolling all the way down and rolling back up. So choose your level. So Della in the background there, lengthening the spine as we come back up and rolling back. So tucking the tail under, belly button pulling in, lifting pelvic floor muscle. Keep that C shape as you come forward. And then when re-stack the spine as we come back up. Good. And we do the same again. So we're really focused in on what we're doing through the spine, rolling through the spine and using those core muscles to keep the body strong. And of course, if you're going the whole way, make sure you're stretching past the legs, re-stacking the spine up tall. And then rolling back, vertebrae by vertebrae, floating the arms overhead. Now, I'm going to slow things down here. Re-stack the spine, lengthen, head comes up last. Good, and then we roll. So last one. Good. So you might want to take a rest here, or I'm going to get Charlene to take this just a little bit further. So some of you will perhaps watch, observe, and this is something where we're going to get to at some point, or some of you will join in. So we're going to roll back, we're going to roll up. Got a good stretch forward. We're going to restack the spine. We're going to lengthen up tall again. We're going to roll back. This time, we're going to take the legs up overhead as if we're going for corkscrew, because in fact we're going to take the legs up and overhead. And easing our way back down, head staying on the ground as we do the same again. Roll from the upper body, rolling forward. We should have a nice curved shape coming forward. And then we restack again, lengthen, tall. Shoulders away from ears. We're going to roll on back. Head touches the ground, arms to the ground, and again take the legs overhead. Belly button pulling in, lifting pelvic floor, having control. So not using momentum. And then we rest. Stretch out those legs, stretch out the arms, just relax the body. Take a bit of time here, guys, to relax. But thank you very much. Again, let's return to the video at some point in the future. Let's do it again. Remember, if you would like and subscribe, you'll see the videos coming along. If you give me a thumbs up, it's nice to know. And if you want to add a little comment at the end, let's do that too.